thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing energy with good people in good places, doing good things. Let's see if you can hear me. Don't ask me where the songs come from. Probably the 90s, the 70s and the 80s. There's this strong energy too of like an energy of what was present back in that day, like how people treated people, you know, with more humankind. I want to say a lot of people got caught in this concept of like money. It's the root of all evil. That's what I was looking at right before I started this bad boy. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I can see me. Okay, I can hear me moving around. All right, so what I was looking at, it just popped up in my timeline. You know, message. So the message timeline that I was just looking at, I just took a photo of it. Let's see, screenshot rather. It says, I don't know, this is from, I guess, a book called Prosperity is Your Divine Inheritance. And what it says in this section of the book that they took a picture of and posted, it says, he states that our mental hospitals are filled with people who have financial strain over a long period, impaired their minds and bodies to the point of incapacity. It has even been estimated that 9/10 of mankind's illnesses are caused by the strain, misery, and unhappiness, poverty. I don't feel like I should pull any cards. This does enough, right? But ultimately, what I was understanding like that is like no matter how much money someone has, if they still have a poverty mindset, they're going to feel lost. You know, even if it's, you know, I don't know. It's all that thing too. We can't buy you love. You know, it was only talking about money in there, but I feel like there's so much more to obtain in life, right? Okay. Yeah. Because it's like, how do you heal how do you heal, right? And I think that's what some people have found out, you know, like if spell work or, you know, magic were supposed to be used in the way that people use it on the negative, then they would also know how to heal. And that's what people who work in magic don't know how to do. And that's why they can't move forward. That's why they stay at the lower vibration. It's all about that. You can be in a low vibration. You might need to be in a low vibration sometimes, especially if you're with your person and it's an intimate moment. You might want to dig a little low for that, right? But it's not in an like a way to thwart someone in another direction. It's not a manipulative way. It's a pleasurable way. Okay, that's all what this stuff is supposed to be used for. Pleasure, self hindering others, you know, and that's where people get it so wrong, so wrong, so wrong. Boo to you too. Was that supposed to scare me? Nothing scares me, sweetheart. Nothing. All right. Oh, Spirit wanted me to let you know. Yeah, that is another black girl doing tarot cards. Yes, correct, it is. Welcome. Why did you come here? It literally says Fancy Granola Goddess Tarot, and it has this black girl's picture on it. Cha-ching! Why are you in here? Listen, just in case you thought it wasn't telling me that you were up to, it already told me. As soon as you put that message up, it said, look, eyes are watching. We know. They got to come see what it's all about. They got to find out for themselves, right, I guess? Oh, they got to see and come and find out that you're the GOAT. That's what it is. That's what it is, the sure-footed. You know why? Because you have a relationship with the Most High. That's why. You navigate hard directions too. You navigate hard places with ease. You have a lot of faith and creative energy. And I feel like you find a lot of peace in aspiring to your goals. That's what I'm seeing here at the bottom. You have a lot of peace aspiring to your goals. I love that. I'm just checking into the energy. I have 2 or 3 other readings. If you saw them on sale, why didn't you get them for us? You should have got all of those that you saw on sale, and you should have sent them out to every reader that you go and harass. Weirdos. I see some people don't have anything better to do with their time, but we shall continue. The thing about it is, when you come into other people coming to inflict some type of harm, we already know that you're a karmic. Everybody in here knows that you're a karmic. We see you too. Cards already told you that. Whoop. All right. What's probably taking place is why this energy is like now, why people are in my, like people don't even watch my videos. So now I got all the people in here. Yeah. So anyway, what's happening is they're in a jam. They've been cautioned. They see the stress that's probably plaguing them and putting them into a poverty mindset. Okay. But that's where they were already, because they felt like they had to reach and pull and grab and take from others. You know what I mean? So that's why that exists in their life right now. You're getting this new start in life. You've changed your direction, and you don't feel stuck in a situation that won't work for you. You know, you've planned out your future. You look at the positive side of things when you are in sticky situations. I get you be making like little jam sugar cookies or something. You be making them sugar. Somebody gave you some jam, and you went and made them little shortbread cookies. You were so loving to yourself, and that's what's most important. Wow. There's a lot of transitions. Oh, okay. So this is the return of that energy, that itchy energy. So if you had been itchy or itchy energy around you or whatever, those people are actually getting ready to meet an friend who's possibly an enemy. And they're going to be put in this position of loss. It seems like maybe they're talking about you too. Like that's also what's going to happen. Like they go up to someone and be like, oh, I saw so-and-so. She got on live the other day. And they're going to be like, I thought you didn't like her. Why are you on our live? You subscribe to her? What's up with that? Hi, haters. Yeah, it's just this whole thing. It's you exude this positive energy. You know, it's a treat. Like when you go to the bank and they give you pops, even if you don't want them, you probably take one every now and again, right? Because who doesn't want a lollipop? Just saying. Something good and positive is coming. A lot of sweet treats, exciting, excellent opportunities. Ooh, I love it. I love it. What's else? What's else? Make me spend my money on some cars. He saw them up there for $1. He could have sent them out. That's all I'm saying. Coming here trying to talk about me, please. Anyway, that was probably one of my undercover cheaters past. That's that energy. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. It doesn't even have to literally be my ex. It could just be somebody that shares the same mindset, that has the same illusion, that puts them in the same confusion. That's what it is. You know, demons move in spirit, right? Oh, looks like they're able to leave that, I guess, a lot quicker than they thought. I don't know. It's something about like you ended up moving out before they could come in and do anything. Wow. I guess maybe you already, I mean, when you know a cheater, you know him. You don't got to get to know a cheater. That's just crazy. What am I wrong about? What am I wrong about? Oh, they were wrong that they could come back in? 1000% they were wrong. Talk about being in the wrong direction. Yeah, because you're about to have your cake and eat it too. That's it. They wanted you to get the eggs, the bread, the milk, sugar. I mean, sorry, not eggs and bread. The eggs, the flour, the milk, the sugar, everything it took to make a cake. The vanilla, whatever you want to put in it. They wanted you to make the cake, watch them eat it. But now, you're like, nah, you don't even get to come to the party. You're there in some type of slippery situations too. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. They're in some type of slippery situation too about that. What's that about? What's the slippery situation that they're in? That everybody sees that they're trashed. Now you see them. Now you know. Maybe everybody else sees that the relationship is done too and that this person needs to move on. Chuck it in the bucket. You're a trashy person. Nobody wants you. You're not any good to anybody that you go around. It says that right at the bottom because that's right at that bottom. Right at that bottom. Ooh, that's one of the reasons too. The title of it is he became a bottom. It's something about somebody's ex who was on the DL. That's also why this person divorced the person. But this person was, I guess, a top, and now they're a bottom because they were chasing this high. It's wild. It's wicked. And it's funny because it's like, I keep thinking like truth is stranger than fiction. But where does all of this stuff that we consider to be fiction come from, right? This is, oh wait, there's one more card over here. Woo, 'cause you do it right. Look at that. This is a beautiful beginning for you, collective. You're gonna be, I feel like you're just gonna be like by the spoonful, just like living it up. But in the very best way possible. You know what I mean? It's not like an overindulgence, but it is indulgent, you know? So that you can get full is what I'm understanding. If it wasn't going to be indulgent, then you wouldn't get as full as you need to. So that's why you're getting so much. That's why it's going so deep. That's why you're, you know, obtaining everything that you dreamed of. Health, abundance. So somebody out there, that might have been what came up too in the thinking here. What came up in the beginning, that like poverty leads to illness, and having the right mindset and understanding of having a good relationship with money and understanding the relationship with money is what actually gets you out of the poverty mindset, because you can literally be in poverty but not have the mindset of it, which allows you to get out of it. Have we seen this happen before? Okay, good. At least we know I'm not making stuff up. Let me get a different deck, because this seems like they got a lot of that toxic energy that was up there first. All right. I haven't even really been asking any questions, but somebody's going to be able to heal. Maybe, and I always like, because I'm looking at the words health and abundance, and I always say, you know, if money is your problem, you don't have a problem, right? Because everything else can literally be fixed, right? It's when you have illnesses, and most people don't even know what they're suffering at the moment. You know, there are so many people out there with unhealthy minds that if they ever decided to go to a doctor, they would probably be found schizophrenic or obsessive compulsive, and not in the light ways, okay? These are the types of people that want to say that people who have like autism and stuff like that, they're on the spectrum, that they're, you know, unable to cohabitate with the rest of us. How? We just have to give them a place and a purpose. That was in my other reading too. I don't know if you guys, what's her name? Oh, what is her name? Oh, I just looked her up the other day, but she has an autistic son. She's an actress from 21 Jump Street, way back in the day. I can't remember her name right now, but her son is autistic, and she, you know, he's doing so amazing. He works for the doctors. You know, he has his own life, even though he's autistic, and that's amazing to me. That's what we should be feeding more energy into, and I don't feel like people are even focused on. We need to do things to incorporate things for the people that are here, you know, ways to be able to celebrate and explore life for others who have disabilities, not these people who their disability is them, you know, they're incapable of carrying the right attitude and mindset. Woo! All right. You're focused on what you need to be. You've released any expectations from people, places, things. Look at that. That's that money mindset. That is so incredible when you really have to dig into it. Like, you can manipulate money just like you can manipulate time. It is a tool. It is a resource. So when you look at it as something that, you know, you can't obtain or you can't make out of the thin air, how are you making it out of thin air every day? You went to that thin air office and you made that thin air money, right? You didn't have to go chop down a tree. I'm just saying. Think about it. What's your expectations? Don't think about, oh, I gotta find a job, or I gotta, you know, get as many, you know, people to attend this event. Don't think about it from that perspective. Think about it from the perspective of like creating a positive environment around what it is that you want to gain the money from. So if you want to get a better job, get happy about the job that you're at every day, knowing that you get to say goodbye soon. Like, you gotta spin it and stay in reality. You can't be too delulu. That was also a download I got earlier too, making sure that we stay right there, that we're present, but we're also exploring mentally other options, because this is a whole big mental game, right? it's all about mindset. It's all about that mental capacity and capability. If you can dream it, right? Oh yeah, you got to stop caring what other people think. Oh my goodness, I so hate what other people think. Let me change that sentence and take that back. I don't hate what other people think. I wish they wouldn't use their brain to think such things sometimes, because the things people make in their head, or the people, that people say, are so far off from truth. I wish that people probably wouldn't speak until they knew the truth too. I think I would most like people not to speak non-truths, but anyway. You're also called to make sure you stay in your exercise regimen and whatever that is for you. Healthy eating, well, it doesn't say that, but I feel like that's what gives you the glow. Also, I did speak a lot the other day about, the difference between faith and fear and anxiety and excitement and all those things. So if you haven't checked out that reading, please go look at it. And I brought up, I don't know if you're religious or not, but I feel like resources are resources, right? Are they positive? Go with it. Anyway, you're really in a celebratory energy. You're very excited about good times that are coming from your hard work. Hey, looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking. It says good company down there. That's why I did that. But yeah, you're letting your hair blow in the wind. Somebody gonna get a convertible? If you were thinking about getting a convertible, get it. Even if you're bald, let the wind hit your big head. Ooh. And a social media detox, if you haven't, maybe because there's a lot of obsessive energies. We saw that earlier, right? Obsessive energies. Look at that. Somebody all over that person's shoulder. Like, why is you writing down what I'm writing down? Oh my goodness. That may even be why you're called sometimes to like back away from social media and posting and stuff like that, showing people your creative stuff or the information that you want to share. It's simply because people are trying to like see what you see before you see it. That's weird. It cracks me up that people even sit in this energy. Like, how could you? Do you feel good? I know you don't. But yeah, that may be why the social media detox is needed. I know that recently I broke my phone, and that's the phone that like my Instagram and everything else is on, whatever. And as a result, I wasn't in tune with social media. It was great, guys. Don't even trip. It was so good. And then when I back in, I was like, damn, this is a distraction. It had been distracting me all this other time, but I didn't realize it until I came out of it. I don't know why it's coming in choppy. I can see it super, but you have to understand there are people that don't want you to hear information that might be useful. There are people that just don't want me to exist, so. Could be coming from anywhere. This is how you take that rediscovering yourself. This is you figuring out what you like the most, buying in different things too. My son and I were talking about that the other day because I tried sushi once for the first time in my life, a long time ago, and I didn't like it. I was like, absolutely not. And then I tried it again with another friend who kept begging me to go eat sushi with him, and I went and ate sushi with him. I was like, I love this stuff. Now I see sushi, and it's like, oh gosh, yeah. Maybe if there's any clutter, maybe even look into your north node and figure out what is in that north position of your heart. That may help a lot with this rediscovering yourself. Because what I've learned is like, if I use the energy of my north node is Virgo. They seem to be very, neat, tidy, and so that's what I pulled away from it, because as a Pisces I can be really aloof and like, oh. So I see this. Is it still shaking? It's against my religion to discuss. My apologies. I do this because it's important. Okay. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm moving so much in my chair. Yeah, that went. I do this because it's important. I have done readings before for profit. Now, because it's necessary. That's all I can expect, whether or not I do this or that full time. I'm not at liberty to say. Yeah. Yeah. And you have to understand too, some people have to be protected like that because of this type of energy. Like I was just mentioning, it's the same card, just popped out. There are people who are obsessed, who want to know, everything that you're doing. Like you said, you're in France. You might blurt that out somewhere and somebody be like, I saw his, you know what I mean? And just start speaking negative on you. So that's why a lot of people need to focus on like taking that step back. you know. Like I said, that whole phone cutting off, and then I didn't want to go live, but I was supposed to, and I should have done that with the earlier readings, but didn't. Yeah, they do it. I believe they get paid real. My only difficulty is I want to help individuals. I do not think that this is a conducive way to provide important and valuable information to other people to help them heal. Because you may be on the part of learning about XYZ, and this other person may be at learning about ABC. You know, healing is not linear. This thing is really shaky, huh? Healing is not linear. So that's the trouble. I would prefer to do this with people one-to-one like I have in the past. And I'm sure I'll get there again in the future. What is the difference between this and Christianity? I was told into reading devil's work. It can be, right? But let's look at everything from that perspective. Couldn't people pretty much use anything they want for the devil's work? It just depends on how they use it, right? Like I said, money is a tool, time is a tool. How are you using your time? What are you using money on? How do you use your tarot cards? Am I telling people, oh, this person's trying to do this and do? No, I tell them why that person can't do this or can't do that. You're a spirit. When you die, does this live still? Those are the questions we need to kind of dig deeper in to kind of bridge the gap that I feel like exists between religion and spirituality. And I feel like I've done a lot of work in because I grew up being religious on my own. No one took me to church. No one said do this or that. You know, I was exposed to a lot of different religions like Buddhism, you know, and things like that growing up. But no one ever took me to church. It was people outside of my family that actually took me. So then when I started going, I loved it. I went to Catholic churches on my own. I was at Mass. You know what I mean? That was when I was a teenager. I have read the Bible back and forth so many times. That's when so I let everything go. I let everything in the world go of the Bible. And I had already read the Bible. I led a ministry. I've been heavy. I led a church ministry when I was 19 in college. And I used to call praying, my first name. Let's say my name was Lucy. Praying Lucy. But it's in that, like I used to do feng shui and do a lot of astrology. But it was becoming more Christian and more based in my Christianity that I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be doing feng shui. It doesn't matter. Put the bed where it feels good, right? Kind of energy. Don't worry about the feng shui book said. But my very last time going back through the Bible, like front to back, I started a different process. My process was, okay, I'm not going to do it from, a devotional reading. I'm not going to just follow the sermons and whatever is put on church website. I'm going to just start letting my Bible fly open to feed me. And that's what I did. And eventually I started going to church as I was doing all the time. I mean, I was a 6-day-a-week person because we only slept in on Saturday. We were definitely up on Sundays. Okay. So I went into this active. I was on the lay organization. I sang in choirs. I did all kinds of stuff. New song. But at the end of the day, it was in that process that I started reading the Bible every single day. Every morning I would get up at 4 a.m. and do this whole process and always talking to God and always praying and this and that. I was seeing stuff happen in my life, etc., etc. But I started going to church and the pastor started preaching the sermons that I had with myself at home. And that was an uncomfortable kind of feeling like, he wasn't at the house. How does he know? So I kept on and then I was like, well, maybe I need something different. Maybe the church, I've outgrown where they're at with what they're teaching their congregation. Maybe I need to explore. So I didn't leave the church. I continued to pay my tithes. Okay. I continued to go every Sunday. I continued to be on the board, etc., etc. And then I started to go out and dabble into other churches online. So I would get a morning service and then get another service later on in the day. Okay. I went to TDJ, felt very heavy and weighted. I didn't hear a lot of, positive reinforcement. It was just kind of like, yeah, the struggle. And it was like, okay, we get it. We struggling. I'm with the reality, yo. And it got to a point where I needed something more. And so from there, I actually went on to Stephen Furtick. And I became a part of that church. I was on their their board where they have new members that come on and you meet up with them and you talk to them and you keep in touch with them. But it became too much for me because of the meetings that I would have. I had 3 children that I was taking care of by myself. So it just became too much for me to be involved in that church and the other church and splitting my ties. So I just decided to be involved, but not as involved. But I was reading my Bible still. I was still going to services. But it's when I got to the part of tarot card and the parts of astrology that God really said, you need to look at this harder, because I wasn't seeking anything but a closer relationship with him. I wasn't seeking anything but more knowledge about what it is that I'm doing wrong and what it is that I need to do right. And it was from there, I can't, because temptation from the devil already had me. I was already in the devil's stronghold, already going to church, looking at who I can date at the church. Come on now. I was already in the devil's stronghold. Already. I feel more free. I've accomplished so much more. I'm more at peace. These are the things we're supposed to be receiving when we go to church, right? But I received them in my personal relationship with God. I started going hiking, okay? This is before the tarot card. That's also what got me closer to God. I'm telling you, it's not just spiritual people aren't just on tarot cards, or I got a reading, or I got a premonition, or whatever they call it. It's not about that. It's about your mind, your body, and your spirit connecting with the universe, with nature, God, because that's how he intended it. You ever think back of how they lived their lives prior to now, where we have all this technology and these gadgets and these tools? You know? That's the thing. Too much of anything can be bad, right? And again, it's about the way that you use it. So if I eat broccoli all the time, I might be a funky person, right? But would you say broccoli is bad for me? Again, it's how you use it. Everybody says the money is the root of all evil. I think that's why I said it here. Money is the root of all evil. Okay, but how come it does aid other people in leading a productive and happy life? It's about how you address it, how you move forward to it, you know? It's about how you use the things. I'm using these to help other people. I'm using these to provide clarity. I'm not using this to tell somebody to do this or tell somebody to do that. If you read that scripture in the Bible as well about the tarot card readers, the reason they told them that they didn't want the tarot card readers was just because the rich people were using the tarot card readers to make them richer. Sound familiar? Media, television, money, commerce. They'd do it with anything that they can find that would be of value. So of course they're going to, of course, if they were, yes, I talk a lot about your intention. Your intention is this, what you're putting into it, right? Oh, you pervy uncle. I didn't even read it all the way correctly. That's the Pisces. Like, oh, you're pretty ugly? Like, I wasn't paying attention. I was just reading the question, mostly. I would hope I don't have one, but oh wait, yeah, never mind. We all have them. All right, fair enough. But yeah, that's how it goes for me with respect to tarot cards. This wasn't something like, and I don't use it in an effort to make someone feel this way or that way. I just want to provide truth and clarity of your emotional stability, your mental stability, and where the focus needs to be in order to raise that, you know, to a godlike mindset of doing well to other people and, you know, flourishing in your own aspirations, etc., etc. So that's the awakening. That's why I do it. People can realize things and shift. Yeah, that's a part of the problem too. Pretty much everything. That's been the thing that got me the most strife, I feel like. People don't listen because, you know, or they think that as soon as they see me, oh, she don't know what she's talking about. But I get what you're saying. I also don't feel like I need to get dressed up and do all kinds of get on the screen, and I have to at least put on mascara. Like I said, you can rewind it back and see how the cards pop out. Or you can ask your angels. But yeah, that's what I was saying. So I started hiking. I started hiking. That's really how I started speaking with God more. It was in those moments, more connected, more close. I started seeing more things in myself and others, etc., etc. And it gave me this sense of completeness that I would be able to go and do that every morning. It gave me this sense of totality. And that's why I say it's about the mind, body, and the spirit. Just like the Bible tells us to don't eat pork because swine. There's a lot of other things. It was so astonishing to me. I saw somebody's like thing on my shorts or the short, and it was like somebody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna see our healthy food haul," and I was like, "That's not healthy." But they think it's like, "Oh, this is berry yogurt." Do you know how much sugar is in that? Can't you just put some berries in yogurt, like some plain yogurt with some agave? I'm just saying, this is all of this works. You have to be clean and pure inside, clean and pure outside. And it's not about your looks, it's about how you take presence, you know. Do you go get your hair cut? You know, those are some of the things out of the men that I have done personal card readings on. Those are the biggest things they neglect. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Again, like I said, when I do tarot card readings in front of people and it's just a one-on-one situation, I'm able to ask them questions. In this instance, not. So that's the only reason why, you know, I can't connect with everybody that comes through and scrolls up or down, or like, you know, the 7 people or the 3 people, it's 4 right now, but that are online watching. Like, I can't always connect, and this is what does it. I can, but they have to connect to me. So it's like they would have to push the like button. They would have to interact with me for me to help them more. So to me, it doesn't matter. I've been thinking about doing the blackout readings. It's just I get so many messages and so much information, and it's not to, you know, we don't ask for these gifts. They talk about us in the Bible too, right? The people whose veil is lifted. We didn't ask for this. But when we started working to get closer to God, that was the gift that he gave us. We get that. And I'm not saying that all spiritual people and tarot card readers are good. Most of them are not. They tell you the same drama over and over again. They don't tell you what mindset that comes from, how to heal that. What part of them does it come from? What part of your childhood what part of this is toxic? They don't do that. I do that, but do that. They're starting to do that here and there. But I feel like they might feel like, oh, my views go down. I get more, you know. Because that's often what happens. Who was that one girl? She was, what was she? Some type of influencer or somebody. Somebody's, you know, girlfriend or somebody. But she was, you know, getting all this attention and everything and publicity, etc. And some, you know, the hot girl. And then she decided to be Christian. Change her life. I forget which one that was. Amber Rose? Is that Amber Rose? I think it's Amber Rose. These girls, somebody, Nikki, I don't know, one of these brides. But they were out like, I'm going to turn my life over and become, you know, this and that and the other. I think a few people have. I think Amber Rose kind of stayed going forward. There's those who immediate was like, I'm leaving everything religious because it's not getting any money. That poverty mindset. Boom. Yeah, some people don't realize they also think money is a cloak too. A lot of people feel like money can be a cloak and cover up what they do, which it does, but only for so long. A lot of men put themselves under the cloaks and the umbrellas of femininity. That's what a lot of people are doing now. That's what we're seeing a lot more too. I know that was, you know, experience of mine. Where someone wanted to be with me to keep their own thing to wraps because I don't like to make a fuss. I don't like drama. It seems so unnecessary when you could go bake a cake. Anything else? A lot of strength is coming out of being able to kind of, oh, this is so cute. Because I was thinking about my daughter and kangaroo. She asked me to build her a big on me so that I could just carry her around when I do things. She wanted to be a kangaroo. So maybe there's some closeness, a lot of intimacy, finding out more, having deeper conversations with people, etc., etc. That's the strength and the kind of family unity. People who, because I don't see family as people that you were born. I see people that have the same mindset, that understand you. You know, because your family could totally not understand you, right? The people that you were born into their name or whatever, they could totally not understand you, right? And you can find complete stranger that gets you. That's your thing. But yeah, strength, you're rolling with the punches. Somebody come punching us again, I feel like they gonna get knocked. They gonna meet the kangaroo. You come punching at the cliff, you about to meet the kangaroo. Okay? Oh, and then protection. Yeah. Ambition and protection. Oh, your ambition is providing you the protection that you need right now to kind of continue to move easy, kind of do things under wraps without people knowing about it too. I don't, that's the other thing. It's so divinely guided. We don't always know what we were talking about the minute before. But that's also what happens when I work with people one-on-one, because I don't always do tarot cards people. Tarot card people's, okay, I'll say it again. Well, that people that you were born like into the name, that they're not, I don't know, you could meet someone that knows you or like understands you. It's so far from me, because it wasn't, like, you can meet someone that you know, that's not your family, that understands, gets you in the way that family should. Family is a connection here, right? Exactly. And your family connects to you here. And that's where real families connect. They don't connect through birth. They don't connect through all these other things that we've been accustomed to believing. They connect through here. And what's happened is so many people's hearts got hardened over time, over their life experiences, that by time they got into your life, they had nothing. It was too hard. So that's why some of us can't connect with our families. Ooh, wow. And I see right here, it says as soon as you, like, everywhere you go, anything you do, you're going to have, like, the more you travel, the more you progress throughout life, etc. You'll be able to have like an even more heightened protection. So the more that you are free, the more that you feel valuable in the ways that you choose to contribute, those things will become more and more protected as a result. But you too. Okay, and that's the other one. Aww. So there may also be some new connections that are coming in that are going to provide some times, maybe even sleeping, because I feel like that's an important thing to relationships. Somebody posted something the other day, said, and I totally agree with it. And she said, I want a boring relationship. And I was just kind of like, why? That means you get disinterested. And people think that, like, doing the regular everyday routines and then come person, they've labeled that boring. How exciting that you get consistency from somebody. How exciting, and that you can give it back. She said, I want a boring relationship. It's on my Facebook. She was like, I want a boring relationship. And I was like, why would you want that? She was just deeming that, like, regular healthy relationships are boring because they're not toxic. They don't have this rush. Like, no worries. I don't know why either, because I don't see any flexions or none of that. But yeah, this is, oh, that's what I was saying. So, oh, okay, cool. So it's leading into this deep personal connection here. And what I was seeing in my mind is that, like, when you have someone that you can go and do normal things with, like you can go and nap. I had a guy ask me once, he was like, would you want to go on a nap date? Of course, I asked more questions. We didn't go on a nap date, but I understood. It was sweet to have been invited. To go on a nap date. He was like, just go to a coffee shop and, like, sit back and read a book and newspaper. I know a place. So I think that's what you're going to be finding, retreating from the world. Just really having a lot of, like, I don't know, good sleep. And that's never a thing. All right. I hope that this has been helpful and insightful in some shape or form. And I will catch you in the next one. Later.